I'm going to show you 3 ways on how to lose 10 pounds of belly fat, back fat, oblique fat over the next 30 days. No, I'm not. I'm going to show you one way that you can plug things into. The first and utmost way that I utilize to burn body fat is taking steps. Getting to the point where you are walking more than 3,000, getting to the point where you're walking 10,000. I know that 10,000 number came from one of these pedometers that people wore back, I don't know, a long time ago. This is what I heard. I'm going to use this loosely because it's probably partially true, possibly mythology. But walking 10,000 steps a day, there's something to that. My mark for me to maintain my weight is 10,000 to 11,000 steps. I walk in excess of 12 to 14,000 steps, but let's back this up for a moment. Let's go with some almost facts, is that most of us Americans are way below 5,000 steps in a day, or even walking, okay? And I'm saying walking because it's easy to do, right? It doesn't take a lot to get up to walking if you have the ability to do so. Now, that being said, is that it's the timing of the walking. For instance, if you've watched any of my videos on what I've done to lose body fat, first thing in the morning, I'm taking a 30 to 45 minute walk, now typically 30, on a treadmill on an incline of 10 at 3.5 miles per hour for that 30 minutes on an empty stomach. Get to the point during the course of any day, week, where you are taking multiple micro walks after meal and before a meal, and making it large gaps of time where your stomach is typically empty and you are burning excessive calories on a 10-15 minute walk over adding extra calories in to go on that walk and take those steps, and progressively move your steps up to 7, 10. I know, get to 10,000. 7,000 can be a hurdle. It can be. If you work a desk job, if you're not out there, you know, like I have a few Amazon workers that I train, and I'm saying this because the amount of steps they take in a day, I might incorporate that into an empty stomach twice a day, and you are golden, and for the most part. All right. You know, of course, some of the things you got to plug in here, one of the particular things is making sure that you're in a caloric deficit. Every 500 calories that you are less per day than what your body actually needs is 1 pound of body fat per week potential. That's 4 pounds per month. You can just reduce your calories by what you're eating now to your BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate, and the amount of calories you need to sustain life for the day without any exertion of exercise. So for instance, if yours is 2,500 calories a day, you want to get it down to 2,000 calories a day. 2,000 calories a day is 500 extra calories in that 2,500 calorie plan that you have to burn. Your body will burn through it and learn to burn through it over time. That's 3,500 extra calories less per week. That's an entire day of almost not eating any food. But again, if you look at that, it's the timing of the food. It's the protein first, fat second, clean carbs last. Okay? So again, in order to lose 10 pounds in 30 days, progressively build up to walks that you are taking on an empty stomach. Lowering your caloric intake by 300 to 500 calories per day over a week session. Check with your doctor, of course. I'm not a doctor. It could be different for you. But my point is most of us, I come to find out that a lot of us are eating 5, 6, 1,000, 1,500 calories extra per day once or twice per week, which adds up to an entire pound of body weight, body fat. Can be stored, because that energy has to go somewhere. It can't just, if you're overeating an over excessive amount of calories, those calories have to go somewhere, and they normally add on to your body. Some of you come out, some of it comes out the other end. But your body is in a constant state of preserving energy for a later time. That's what belly fat is. That's what back fat is. That's what oblique fat is. That is where the fat that you just do not want on your body, from your legs to just, you know what I'm saying, men and ladies. That's the point here. is making sure that you build, number one, get to that walking on an empty stomach, whether it's once a day, 3 times a day, micro walks. After a meal too, not just on an empty stomach, but after each meal. If you eat 3 meals a day, try to go for a 10-minute walk. Not try, do it. Seriously, walk. Do 10, 15 minutes before you go to bed. Light walk, nothing crazy, but over time, by reducing those amount of calories, 500 per day, in some cases 750 per day after your first or second week, and keeping your protein up there, keeping protein high, that 1 gram per pound of body weight that I always talk about, keeping that high, keeping the fats within reason, healthy fats, and keeping your sugars out, lowering sugar intake, not carb intake, sugar intake. So you actually get enough calories, okay, to support your lifestyle, the life you're living. And this is how to lose 7 to even 12 pounds of body fat during the course of 30 days. Your last week, take a challenge. Get to 15,000 steps a day. Find a way. Get up early. Get up an hour early. Go for an hour walk on that empty stomach. 2 cups of water, electrolytes, salt in your water. Walk 1 hour. Empty stomach. I'm telling you, that last week will be a good projection of how much fat you lose with that caloric deficit in place by just walking. Now, if you incorporate some other things during that 30 days, such as a HIIT session, if you're new to exercise, I wouldn't recommend that. Check with your doctor. HIIT, high intensity interval training. It's not good in the beginning. You can start a cardio session. If you're jumping into yoga, for instance, great. If you want to start that second week doing a resistance training routine, great. And also, if you would like to hit that like button and subscribe, that would be part of the plan as well. But seriously, get it to the point where you are walking on an empty stomach, eating whole foods, getting your protein up there high so you can be in a caloric deficit of 500 to 750 calories starting your second, at least going into your second week on this 30-day plan. And then your last, and if you can incorporate, whether it's yoga, whatever you've been doing or whatever you wish to have been doing, if you need help with this, comment and I will help you put together a plan for actually lifting, a resistance training plan that's not going to be overexerting to the point to where that will just boost that fat loss over that period of time, but taking in less calories. Think about it. If you're taking in 500 less calories for an entire month every day, think about that. That's 30 days times 500. That is how many calories? That's 15,000 less calories. Let's say it's 5 to 6 pounds of body fat. That's potential for your body to pull from. Some of it's going to be water retention. I get it. But pulling from the fat reserves is key. So again, follow that. Follow me. Check out below. I got some things for you that I curated that you might want to check out on your fat loss journey. But if you need help with this, putting it together, click, comment. I will help you. No cost. Free. Promise. Give you everything you need to plan this out. 10 pounds. Take the challenge. Now, let's do it. Later.